When you're sitting in that room, you see a lot of energy and you see a lot of the same problems, a lot of the same success stories.
A lot of us kind of live in a silo where we know what's going on in our industry. It's helpful for business owners to hear how different companies and different industries are solving problems.
One thing I would say is absolutely consistent. It's talent, talent, talent.
Went from 2 employees to 4 employees to 16 to now about 190 employees is where we have.
We really focused on our people and the communities that we serve, really giving back locally.
We are probably the 3rd largest retail, co-location, and cloud infrastructure company in the United States today.
We serve the special needs community of the developmentally disabled, so service recipients with autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, traumatic brain injury, things like that.
Interesting part of the conversation was to listen to the tone. Even though there were different industries being represented, a lot of the same constant themes that were going on within those businesses to help them achieve their growth.
How do you think outside the box? How do you create a culture in your company that attracts the top talent?
And those companies who are succeeding, who are growing, are the ones who are really putting focus on their people.
So we've been able to take our guys that were originally field painters. These guys were making $14 an hour, now making 6 figures a year. They've been with the company for a long time, have learned the processes, they have a good attitude, they have integrity, and you can teach those people.
Finding the right person is important, but finding the wrong person is even worse.
How do we develop our current team and get them from point A to point B and develop them so they can be the next leader or the next manager of our company?
We are a data-driven company. As being a technology company and being in the medical business, it's important for us to track every metric, every outcome.
Well, the data always tells a story, so it's how you interpret that story and then how you make it into a process, and then your people implement that process from the data's story.
Data really has come to the forefront for them. How do they make business decisions? Sometimes, how are they making those hiring decisions?
That's something that I've learned from this event and we can capture, and we'll be asking the question of our clients and prospects. And what are you doing with the data and how are you using that?
It's interesting that we have such a diverse group of people from different industries, but yet we all have some of the same challenges and some of the same successes. So we're all focused on our culture, we all seem to focus on technology, some of the challenges of the industries. Of speed of change is just continuing to increase as well.
Processes matter as much as the data matters, because the data, in general, what you find is people search data to find what they already think is happening and they stop.
Process is really trying to create a uniformity to your business so that you keep that culture, those people moving all in the same direction.
I brought up the fact that if you have 2 different entities merging into one, some of those cultures don't always get together.
I think my biggest mistake is making changes without fully thinking about how that change affects every single piece of your business.
A lot of listening going on there, because I think they really wanted to learn and listen to what other leaders were saying.
Now that they have grown, what are the issues? And it's attracting and retaining talent. It's coming up with a company culture. It's beating your competitor.
If you can kind of figure out that chaos and participate, there's so much opportunity in being a disruptor in all these different industries. There's a lot of disruption in every industry, the way we go to market, the way we buy things today versus 15 years ago.
But you have to understand that the disruptor becomes the disruptee. It's a food chain. And so it is difficult. You always have to be looking over your shoulder. Even though we talked about a lot of things that were different, you see how much similarity was around people and culture. They really did mirror. The size and the scale is just different, but the problems are essentially very similar to what they're trying to do. They're really trying to accomplish a lot of the same goals and to motivate people, create an environment where it's a great place to work, but at the same time trying to grow their business and scale it.
The humility that these guys have, as well as the courage to grow business and to take risks and to be constant learners, learn from their mistakes, keep going even when they don't know how they're going to go. It's just kind of always neat to be in a room of entrepreneurs who are really driving value and serving a lot of people who work for them.